Fourth Raikage A would never lose to any of the Sannin. So let's get one thing straight. It is stated and shown multiple times that all three of the Sannin are very close to each other in power and are all on a similar tier of strength. Of course, we know that Naruto is simply superior to Jiraiya overall whenever he's in Sage mode. This is stated during the Pain arc.
Fukusaku meant that he had surpassed them as a sage, not overall strength. We know this by the fact that Fukusaku has no way of knowing the strengths of Jiraiya or Minato. Fukusaku didn't know that Jiraiya had Nagato had a student, meaning they hadn't conversed in decades. This makes sense considering the fact Jiraiya only summons Fukusaku when he has to enter Sage mode, and that almost never happens. If Fukusaku hasn't seen Jiraiya in decades, that means he shouldn't know how strong he currently is, excluding the Pain fight, and even more so for Minato. The statement also included Minato, but you failed to mention that to make your claim more believable. But if Fukusaku hasn't seen Jiraiya in decades, he probably has never seen adult Minato in combat, considering not only does he not use Sage mode in combat, but he doesn't even need to summon Fukusaku in combat. Fukusaku is only aware of their sage prowess because he is their teacher. Also, Fukusaku made the statement after Naruto attacked a Pain who was focused on Tsunade. Naruto damaging one Pain isn't enough for Fukusaku to them to that conclusion, considering Jiraiya never got to fight that Pain with both hands and Minato never got to fight him at all. Also, Jiraiya accomplished a similar feat with a Pain who was coming straight for him, so the statement relating to overall strength just doesn't make sense.
Of course, the Raikage was simply stated and shown to be able to match KCM1 Naruto's speed during their encounter.
I already explained why Jiraiya isn't weaker than Sage Mode Naruto, so this part doesn't really matter, but even without that part, Minato is stated twice to be on par with the Rikage's speed, so if he's slower than Sage Mode, then so is the Rikage. Your scale contradicts itself, which gives even more proof to the fact that Fukusaku's statement wasn't in terms of overall power.
KCM1 as a form is simply stated to be better than Sage Mode by Naruto himself. Moving on, we know Four Tails Naruto is capable of bringing both Orochimaru and Jiraiya to the brink of death.
But the two fought and he didn't, even against a weakened, handicapped Orochimaru. Having an attack that could kill an opponent doesn't mean that you could bring them to the point of death in an actual fight. There's no guarantee you could land that attack and your opponent may have good defenses against it. Sure, a clean shot of a tailed beast bomb would have killed Orochimaru, but he has counters so he wouldn't get a clean shot. Using that statement to put Orochimaru below Four Tails Naruto is incredibly bad scaling, considering it only applies to durability and Oro was badly weakened here.
Of course, we know that the Fourth Raikage is simply stated to be stronger than Perfect Jinchuriki Killer B, along with having a higher combat power than him, which should scale the Raikage above Killer B's Bijou Bomb.
You're defining combat power as purely attack strength, which is incorrect. Combat power refers to your overall fighting ability, which would take into consideration all your stats like intelligence, speed, agility, and so on. So this statement doesn't inherently mean he has stronger attacks than a tailed East Bomb.
So a version 2 Jinchuriki is giving the Sannin a hard time.
That scar was given to base Jiraiya, not Sage Jiraiya, and considering this happened in training, Jiraiya most likely got caught off guard since it happened out of nowhere. Also, Jiraiya's first instinct won't be to pound a little kid, but to try and calm him down, which would of course lead to injury.
While the Fourth Raikage scales to an actual fully transformed Perfect Jinchuriki and is considerably faster than all three of them.
The Sannin are stated to rival the 5 Kage. Not only this, but Old Man Hiruzen is stated to be the strongest of the 5 Kage, and Hiruzen states himself that he doesn't know if he could beat Orochimaru. The next scales are far-fetched, but I just thought I should mention it. Orochimaru, when revived, also says he didn't currently have the power to beat Sasuke, which implies he was to get stronger later on to the point he could do it, and he does get his hands back later. Exactly what Suigetsu was afraid of. After Sakura masters the Byakugan, a direct relation is also made between her KC and Naruto, EMS Sasuke and the Sannin. I don't agree or disagree with his premise. I just don't think it's so clear-cut that the Rikage wins. It could go either way and his points were mostly wrong.